So it's a Friday night. What are you planning on doing?
You are now listening to Limited Trust, a Devastator podcast. Let's get into it.
Episode 102, Limited Trust, a Devastator podcast. I don't know whether I should say 102, 102, 4 and fucking 29. So I'm not really sure how we're gonna go forward with that, but we're in the hundreds now, motherfucker. We had Erica on last week. What did you guys think of that? It was different, right? I gotta get my mama out here. You'll fucking really like my mama. She's a good time. Shit, I get my fucking sister, my brother-in-law. They're fucking awesome too. I mean, anyone can come out. It's not like, hey, I fucking you have to be this or that. I got some shit. I think Chains and I are going to try to hit one up around Halloween time. So that should be good. I got all kinds of shit lined up. And what I did just get done doing right now, even though it's supposed to be no phones, this video is compressing or whatever. It takes a long time because it was like a 20-minute video that I compressed down to 1 minute. So you'll hear about this. So all the hardcore motherfuckers are going to hear about this first. It's mad stupid, but I bought a fucking diamond. I bought a very small diamond, and I fucking put it in a black top keychain scribe in the fucking black part. A jeweler will probably have a fucking heart attack. Watch how I fucking... Well, you get to watch, but... So I don't know why, but now I might do it again with a bigger one because that was cheap. I mean, it wasn't cheap. I mean, it was cheap, but I'm cheap, so it was like, yo, it's $14 shipped. That's fucking quite a bit of money to break balls. But shit, man, if I could put a fat one in there, son, oh, that would be dope. Oh. And I know, I'm sorry, man, I was so fucking thirsty, and I was looking for some Gatorade that was cold, because I can't drink room temperature drinks, or I can't do it ever at all. So I needed something cold to drink, so I'm drinking fucking sparkling water out here, so you know what happens when I drink that. So I'm going to try my best to keep the burping, unfortunately, to a minimum. So, if you were watching the stories, you heard me talk about I had a fucking road rage incident, and now you know I don't have a history of road rage. I'm like the slowest fucking driver you ever met, right? Mad slow, because I just don't fucking care, you know. I like when I'm going somewhere, I give myself plenty of time to get there, so I'm never like in this rush fucking hurry where I feel like I gotta go around people and. Yeah, I spoke too soon. Excuse me. Where I feel like I gotta go around people and, you know, do all kinds of fuck shit like that. So I never really get that feeling. So I'm just laid back. I'm in the fucking slow lane and shit, you know, fucking. So I'm leaving work. I'm making a left off of Behan Road, headed to Chili Avenue westbound, right? Now, 92% of you are like, yeah, whatever, dog. Anyway, I'm in a fucking left turn only lane with a green arrow. This is like 3 o'clock in the afternoon the other day. I think 3 or 4, something like that. So I'm in the turn lane, lights red, bam, green arrow. All right, so I go. I go, it's a fucking green arrow. I'm not like stupid. I didn't like fuck up, make a left on red, which Jimmy knows about the left on red, but that wasn't the case. I'm like, oh, all right. So this dude is on the opposite side of the road. Also, he's a southbound. I'd say southbound, turning westbound, making a right. So he's making a right on red, right? Well, I'm not playing that shit. Like, I might drive slow, but if I got the green arrow, I'm just gonna go, and we might have to meet. You know what I mean? If you don't fucking recognize, we might have to get to know each other and trade in some insurance or whatever. So I just continue my ass on because I know I'm fucking right. So I hadn't even completed the turn yet, and all I see is the fucking middle finger, fucking throwing me the fucking finger, this dude, right? And I don't know if I've ever said it before here, but I don't play that shit. I don't do middle fingers. I don't do, all that shit. There's one gesture that I do. So this guy, well, actually, there's two gestures that I do, I should say. So I continue to make my turn, and now he's behind me. He's in a Kia Soul, right? The car that the hamsters was driving in a commercial. And I haven't really got to see him 100%. Like, I could see that it was a dude. It was a white dude. I couldn't really tell him. He had sunglasses on. What looked like sunglasses. So now he's behind me. There's two lanes here. I'm in the right lane because I naturally got into the slow lane. Plus, I got to get on the expressway a little ways up there. So he's behind me, and he's fucking going crazy with the finger. Fuck you. And I could see he's saying, like, his head and everything. He's, fuck you. Fuck you. So I put the window down, and I just start pointing to the fucking parking lot that's up there. I'm like, pull over. That's my one hand gesture that I do. Pull over. Just pull over. I'm not doing the finger thing when we're not going to do that. Pull over. Pull over. So he pulls up on the driver's side of me. So I look, he's got his passenger window up. And I'm like, pussy. All right, whatever. So he's continuing with the finger. Fuck you. Fuck you. He's screaming, but now I can hear him through his window. And I'm looking at him, and he's got these small ass sunglasses. They're like tiny little rectangles. They almost look like fucking fake. Right? And I could tell he's probably like 50. Right around there. And he's fucking. So I'm saying, pull over. Now he pulls in front of me. I don't know if he thought I was gonna be scared, like he got like real close to me, but I don't fucking give it. You're gonna hit my 2013 fucking Caravan with the, what? So he pulls in front of me, and he's like trying to give me the middle finger, but he's like having trouble getting his hand like where it needs to be instead of just like throwing his hand back. So then I do my second gesture. I just put both of my fists up. Come on. I'm pointing over. Come on. Dude, he starts punching his own hand like as hard as he can, like this. And I'm going, pull over. So he does, right? So he hits a turn signal. He's about to pull in the car wash gas station entrance. Gas station's to the left. Car wash will be to the right. So he stops like right in the middle of the turn. And I'm like, oh, he's got me in a compromising position. He's like he's off the road, and he left me out in the lane. So it's going to be, it's going to add a little layer of me because I got to get out before him. No matter what, if I see his door open, I got to be out before him. I'm like, fuck, he kind of. So I'm thinking, all this is going through my mind. I'm like, damn, he might know what he's doing. He's about to fuck me up. He's about to have me trying to get out in traffic and do this shit. I'm like, all right, whatever. But he doesn't. He just like is driving real slow. So I pull in behind him. I'm like, all right, well, all this fucking shit that's going on in my life right now, this is 100%, aside from fucking smoking crack, this is 100% probably the last thing I should be fucking doing right now is fucking fighting someone on the side of the road. over a fucking right on red green arrow conflict. So he continues. He's like pulling in alongside of the bays of the car wash because they have like detail bays and shit, vacuums and other shit. And there's mad people out there and shit. So he stops in front of me. He pulls in like quite a way. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm gonna have to bail because I think it's just like if you keep going, you're just gonna pull in the car wash. And I'm not about to have some weird thing like this dude all of a sudden gave up and now I gotta get a car wash. So then I seen he puts down his passenger window. I go, oh, all right. So I pulled up to the window, and he goes, "What's your problem?" And I could tell he's mad. And I said, "I had a green arrow," and that was it. I didn't curse. I didn't say nothing. And he's staring at me with his now he's got his glasses like down on his nose, so I could see his eyes. These little tiny rectangle fucking glasses, looking like fucking Natural Born Killers glasses or some dumb shit. I don't know. It was like fucking mad weird. So I could tell as soon as I said that he's processing it. And he goes, right then he knows he's fucking wrong, right? And he goes, "Yeah, fucking tough guy." and he's like yelling, right? And he goes, "What the fuck you gonna do?" So, like some shit like that. Like, what the fuck? I said, "I had a green arrow, dickhead." And he goes, "Fuck your green arrow. Fuck you." I said, and he's like fucking screaming. And the people working the car wash and shit, all these people are like looking. And I said, "Hop out." And he goes, "If I hop out, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass." I said, if you hop out, I'll definitely fuck you up." And he says, I can't remember what he said, something like tough guy. And I said, "Fuck you." And I'm not like yelling at him because, if I just like raise my voice a little bit, but don't get angry, I think it makes people more angry. I'm still like talking over him, but I'm not screaming like a fucking lunatic like he was screaming. So I said, "Fuck you." And he goes, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." And he's screaming and spit's flying out of his mouth. And then he just pulls off and then goes and gets a car wash or some shit. And I said, "Oh, fucking, well, I guess, all right." So that was it. So I got to make like a K-turn because I think the only way you can go is like around the fucking and get a car wash. I could be wrong, but that's what I thought at the time. So I pulled up in this parking spot right next to these other people like conducting business and shit, detail business, and they're all looking at me and I fucking wave like, "Oh, hi." They weren't amused. And so anyway, I was like so fucking upset. I want to say I was upset. Like I was fucking mad. I was worked up about it. And I fucking hate. And that was another thing happened to me earlier on fucking Lyle and Murray. Some dude in a fucking hurry to pull into Burger King on Lyle Avenue. What the motherfucker? Anyway, whatever. So that wasn't even me. He was mad because he fucked up. Again, people get mad because they fuck up. Oh shit! And what I said to the guy with the second time, I said, "You had a green arrow, dickhead. You were wrong." I said, "It's okay to be wrong." And I think that just infuriated him even more. But whatever. I mean, if he was about that shit, he would have been fucking got out. But that's how I kind of realized that he wasn't that fucking. He was crazy. He was fucking probably in like anger management classes or something. Because who the fuck goes that crazy? If scaring me was the objective, it didn't work. All I wish I pulled my fucking phone out and got that shit fucking recorded. Because that would have been great. But I actually thought this might have to happen. And then afterwards, I'm reflecting on it like, what's going to happen, Who knows? A guy could be the total fucking psychopath. I could have got washed in the parking lot, broke my fucking arm or something. Now who's in, now I'm out of work, now I can't mix that shit. Now I can't scrub them floor. So I was just fucking frustrated by the whole thing. And I think just in life in general, I've been like fucking super angry and very, very fucking short patiented. And I don't got a lot of patience recently for fucking bullshit. And why? I mean, all I do is bullshit, you know? My whole shit is like breaking balls and not being serious, but I just haven't had a lot of fucking patience lately. So I knew then, I was like, I gotta get the fuck home. I was like, I gotta get home. And then that was the day that all the UPS shit started. And now if you followed that, dude, there's also no way I'm wrong about this either. Excuse me. I admit when I'm fucking wrong. And I've apologized. Excuse me. I've apologized when I've been wrong. I've gone on hour-long comment fucking arguments with people and then realized fucking at some point, damn, this guy's fucking right. And I said, you know what, man? You're right. I was wrong. I was wrong. So I don't have a problem doing that, but don't fucking I've been like fucking escorted out of the fucking school before back in my elementary, middle school days because of getting fucking blamed for shit I didn't do. That's one thing I fucking really hate. Like if you want to get me fired up, like there's going to be violence, fucking blame me for something that I didn't do. That's an easy way to get me a fucking assault charge or a quick battery charge. Fucking blame me for whatever, fucking stealing something or fucking damaging something. And if I didn't do it, we're going to have a fucking problem. Because that's I don't know why, and I've always been like that since I was little. Like fucking 8 years old. You fucking blame me for something? Fuck you. Nuh-uh. So that was my day, and that UPS. Come on, son. The package arrived in Las Vegas empty. You guys know. Almost everybody on here knows what the packages are like. I do not skimp on fucking tape. I do not skimp on that type of shit. Like, that shit is going to be wrapped. It's going to be straight. This shit's going to be all right. There's no way I sent 2 gallons of fucking pink fucking alcohol ink and the bottom fell out and the ink was disappeared. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like a fucking, like a blacktop keychain scribe. Not in a bag. Just loose in an envelope where it ripped and rolled out of the end and someone kicked it across a fucking parking lot and it was gone. Dude, we're talking about 18 fucking pounds of liquid. Like, somebody noticed that shit. Someone, you know, if that's what happened. If someone picked up a box and the fucking 2 gallons of fucking wrapped up, bubble wrapped, triple bagged ink fell out, you'd say, oh shit, this shit fell the fuck out. What the fuck? You know, or if they bust mid fucking flight, you'd say, yo, whatever you had just fucking did whatever. Or no, it wasn't even a flight. It wasn't even a flight. The more I think about it, and I said the Boeing fucking door, but I remember I had to ship it ground because it was liquid. So it was fucking ground. Anyway, so I'm just like, what the fuck, man? You know, and of course it couldn't be just something little that I could turn around and just knock out. You know, it's got to be this fucking shit where I got to order all new fucking supplies. It was just frustrating for them to fucking blame me for that. I was like not fucking happy about that. So that was my day. That's how my day started. And I was just talking shit. And really, I probably wouldn't have talked if so you're hearing it now also. I got an email either late last night or early this morning, I can't remember, that said they were that they're siding with me. That that they overturned my fucking claim denial. And I'm like, well, all right. I thank you. I appreciate that you fucking aren't trying to dick me around on this shit that's clearly not my fucking fault. So, But we'll see. Who knows? Like, I told them what this shit costs, and I could have fucking bilked them because there was other shit on the ticket that didn't get sent on the same shit. So the price was different. So I only hit them for like half or 3/4 of what the ticket was. And I was like, yo, this is what it is. This is what I got in materials, and this is what it cost to fucking ship. You know, it was like fucking a lot of shit. And they like, so I don't know. I mean, they said that it was overturned in my favor, but they could be like, yeah, we'll give you $100. You know, and whatever. I'll take their $100 check. But dude, what the fuck, man? You know, if you were to just said, I fucked up, we fucked up, I don't know, something happened. But they would never admit that someone in their company fucking busted that shit open and took the shit, or they lost it, and then, you know, oh, it got crushed. They said it's all documented. Like, they sent all the shit. It got crushed. It arrived empty. Well, which one was it? Did it arrive empty or was it crushed? If it was crushed, you would fucking know. Like, if it was crushed beyond recognition where it was undeliverable, there would be a fucking mess somewhere. Or there is a mess somewhere, and just no one wants to talk about it. So I don't know. The whole fucking thing was just weird. It was weird. It was fucking annoying. And I'm fucking, as we speak, there's shit spinning downstairs because I got to get that shit done. So I'm probably going to end up cutting this off a little bit sooner than I would like to, because I'm in a good mood and I want to talk. But I also got to fucking get these fucking gallons made. Well, I got one more gallon to make. I got the last quart of the first gallon in the spinner right now, and then I gotta make, it'll be three more dumps. I can hear that it's raining. That makes me happy because I love the rain. So, can you hear it? Editing software probably gonna cut that part out, but maybe not because it's not in the intro. It might sneak by, but so what I've also been thinking about since all this fucking shit has been going on, is I don't know how all these podcasts get stored aside from the ones on YouTube. So I don't know if I stop paying my for my Libsyn, which is who I do the podcast to, if I stop paying for that service, if they pull all my shit off of, because it's on, like, you know, Amazon, so I think it's on Spotify, I don't know, excuse me, if they pull it off all the platforms and then all I'll have it left with is on YouTube. Who knows, they might even go into YouTube and fucking take that shit down. I don't know. But if it's on YouTube, it's there, you know, unless something happens to the page, it'll be there forever, or for a long time anyway. And so I was thinking about it. And with all the mortality shit that's been happening in the last year or so with me and my family and everything, and you know how I reminisce a lot and talk about shit. I thought about when I don't have, when I'm like, yo, fucking bad mood, this is a fucking short episode today. I thought about maybe just telling a memory that I have from my life. Whatever it is, doesn't have to even be a crazy story, just like memories that I have, because I'm afraid, like, what if something happens to me, and all these little things that I have in my mind, you know, my kids will never get to hear about because they hear all my stupid stories and shit, but, you know, they don't hear all of them. And they don't, you know, all these things that I've had and laugh about. And so I don't know if that's stupid. You know, I'm sure you wouldn't say, yeah, sharing your memories is stupid, dog. But someone might. But I don't know, because, you know, like, I don't know. I just want something maybe that'll be there forever. And then someone goes back and, you know, and however long from now, and it's like, yo, listen to this fucking guy. What a weirdo. You know, I listen to all these episodes and shit, and, you know, you could almost get a lot of an understanding of who the fuck I am by listening to all this. You know, and anyone who's listened to all these episodes, you probably understand me better than a lot of people. And especially since I kind of went off the rails, you know, like 95 episodes ago, where I always used to fucking have like, I would try to have notes and I would like type shit in my phone, like fucking, you know, throughout the week, like, oh, talk about this, oh, you know, how to bridge this into graffiti and blah, blah, blah. Until I just said one day, I was like, fuck this, man. That's too much work. You know, and I know people have shows like that and fucking, and you know, you got to stick to the script and fucking, you know, you stay on the rails, on the guidelines of the episode. But I just can't do that. I'm not interested in that. And so when you're a guest here, don't come prepared. Don't come with fucking pre-programmed responses and shit, because I'm not going to be asking you I might ask you a question that you might be ready for. But aside from that, we're just going to talk. And if you're talking about something, I'm like, yeah, oh, shit. Oh, how much cousins? You got cousins? You got how many cousins you got? You sound like you got mad fucking cousins. Oh, you got 12 cousins. Holy fuck, I got this many cousins. You know, you don't fucking, you never know what the fuck what's going to come out of my fucking mouth. So I don't know. I was thinking about that, but again, it's just something I think about. All this shit I just think about. I say, like, what do people want to hear? I mean, or is this what people want to hear? Because it's not like a theme show. This is basically just like my fucking audio journal. My audio journal, and sometimes people come around and fucking talk to me. So, I don't know. I remember we used to go, my grandparents, my mother's parents, they owned a resort, I guess you would call it. It wasn't really. It was like a thing in the Thousand Islands. They had like a main house, which they lived there. So it was like an apartment they lived at. And then they had, I can't remember if there was 5 or 6 different hotel rooms. But they all had kitchens and fucking bathrooms and shit. And then they had like 4 or 5 cabins, single cabins, off to the far end. And then they had a row of motels, or you know, a row motel with like, I can't even say how many rooms. It could have been 10, you know, in a row out by the road. And then they had all the like hookups and shit for people who put their the fuck is it, RVs, or not RV, well, RV2, I guess, campers and shit. And you know, all hookups, electricity and water or whatever, so you could hook your shit up there and park there. So it was a spread. And then across the street they had a bait house, and they had a boat dock and a boat launch and a gas pump and a fucking pier that my grandfather fucking built. The pier at night. He would go out like right at dusk and start fucking laying concrete and shit, fucking building out this pier, because fucking building in the water was something, whatever the fuck it was. So I always thought that was cool. And it was a few hours away from the city, and my grandparents lived there. I want to say, I don't want to say just the summer. They might have lived there into the fall. But I'm not sure. My mother would know. That's why I got to get her here. And I remember going there. It was like, we might go once a year, or usually once a year, maybe twice a year. And it was called the Bay. You know, we go to the Bay. Going to the Bay. I can't remember what lake it was on, or what water. I don't think it was Alex Bay. It was, I don't fucking know. I'll have this information at some point. But I remember going there, and I remember one day the fucking teacher at Miss Connolly at fucking 57 school. She was my kindergarten teacher. She smelled mad bad. Sorry, Miss Connell, you're probably dead by now. You didn't look the healthiest. Shout out to you. She's definitely dead. I can't imagine her being alive. If she's alive, she's like 80 and unhealthy. But anyway, yo, you smelled mad bad back in the fucking early 90s. Yo, I'm sorry. Anyway, we had it was my birthday. So school had just fucking, it was a couple weeks in. And I don't know what the fucking deal was, why it was like an Apple theme party that we were having. And they were like, we're making apple crisp. And everyone gets to eat apple crisp or some shit. And I remember like seeing it. It was probably good. But I remember seeing it and I was like, I don't want to fucking eat that. And I'm a little ass kid. And I still remember this. Like I can fucking still remember. I don't want to fucking eat that. I was like, what the I didn't say what the fuck. I might have. I was bad. I was like, damn. So I remember it was like, oh, now the apple crisp is done. Now it's about to be time to start eating it. And then the phone rings, right? Miss Connolly answers the fucking phone. She hangs up the phone. Everyone's getting their apple crisp on napkins. Excuse me. I didn't get mine yet. She says, Kyle, your mother's here to pick you up for your birthday. And I was like, yeah! I remember I was so fucking happy. So that I went, and my mom had got a haircut, and she never got a haircut. My mom was a gangster. She didn't do none of that shit. And she had this hair, and I think she wasn't happy with it. I don't really know the story behind it, but she had got a haircut, and I was like, holy fuck, my mom's never, and I don't know if she ever got one since. I think she just cuts her own hair, and then she twists it up in knots, fucking sitting there, and I think it stopped growing after a while. And then my hair turned like blonde, like this big blonde streak where it wasn't like, it was not gray, it's like blonde. It looks crazy. It's cool. And that's now. I was like, oh shit. Anyway, so she picks me up from school. She's coming down the hall. I'm like, you got a fucking haircut. And I'm like, cool. I'm happy as shit that I got to get the fuck out of eating apple crisp. And she's like, you ready to go? And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm ready to go. And she said, you want to go to the bay? And I remember I was so fucking happy. I remember hearing that. I was like, yes. And she goes, I got all your birthday gifts in the back of the truck. Do you want to go open them? And I was like, yes. So we went out to the fucking truck, opened up whatever the fuck I had, and then I got in the truck. She had an old, I can't remember what year it is, an old Chevy truck, and we fucking rode out to the fucking Thousand Islands, dog. Went out to my grandparents' place, and I just remember I was like always fucking happy there. It was always cool. And then, and I remember when Steve moved in with us, and he, so then I can't remember if it was the first time, second time he came up there, whatever. I remember they had back in the back field, like if you walk beyond the property, there was like some kind of fields or some shit. They had hay bales like stacked up, like I couldn't even tell you. It seemed fucking huge. They were like, I don't know, super high. And but they were probably like 4 bales high, 4 bales wide. It was like a big cube of all these big hay bales. And me and Steve, I remember Steve and I, we fucking climbed up there. Happy birthday, Steve. Yeah, you had a birthday the other day. Love you. And we climbed up on the fucking hay bales. And they were like warm. They must have just been sucking in the fucking sun all day. And I remember him and I were just like laying on them, looking up at the fucking stars and shit. And I was like, wow, this is cool. And he's like, man, look at it. He's like, you see all the steam coming off him? I was like, the whole thing, I just remember it was just fucking cool. And And I remember thinking, like, this is fucking awesome, man. We're just looking at it. Because once you got, like, just being out there in general, there wasn't, like, a ton of fucking light pollution. So then when we went to this fucking, you know, whatever it was, field, whatever, it was like fucking, that was like the middle of fucking nowhere. So you could see all the fucking stars. And I just remember thinking, this is fucking awesome, man. And then that motherfucker Stevie produced a fucking laser pointer. I might not have been that time. It was one of the times though. Next thing I was like, and that was like fucking unheard of. I was like, oh shit, he got a fucking laser. That was fucking great, man. I remember thinking, holy fuck, man. So we were fucking with that for a while. There was beaming shit, going like far away, seeing like, you know, when you beam shit and it would be like fucking, this shit would be mad big. You know, like if you're like 100 feet away and you're beaming a laser, the laser's like big as your fucking head. So that shit was cool. But I just remember it was a place that always made me happy to know that we were about to go there or going there, or, you know. And sometimes I would go with my mom. Sometimes one time I went with fucking, my mom was already there, and Steve and my Uncle Dave, we rode out. My Uncle Dave said, I was like, how long does it take to get there? And he's like, 5.5 beers or some shit like that. And that's fucking how long it was. And he was in the passenger seat, Steve was driving, and fucking sure enough, about 5 or 5.5 beers, whatever it was, and we were there. It was pretty funny. My grandparents, I can't even remember like when the fuck they acquired it. And then my grandfather, he opened a fucking like a hamburger, hot dog restaurant kind of thing, like Ground Rounds and shit or whatever the fuck, kind of like Shaler's. I don't know if y'all got Shaler's or Tom Walls or you're at. It's something similar to that. And I never got to go there because I think it opened and it wasn't open for very long. I don't think it worked out because it was kind of far away from where they were. And then like to run the shit all year, you know, and their home is in Rochester, you know, so it was fucking. So that didn't pan out. But I remember I went there once when they were doing construction, because I remember like being in the building and it was all fucked up. But then that was it. I was never there again. And there was like, I remember when I was there too. Me and Steve went and saw fucking Blade in the theater at fucking, I can't remember what the little Watertown, I think. Son, yo, that shit was ill. I remember I had a puffer vest and shit and some sunglasses and shit, and I was wearing that shit all around. I was like, people will think I kill vampires, bitch. Fucking stupid cheese dick motherfucker I was. Oh, shit. Yeah. Dude, I did some weird shit back in the day, son. I was a weird motherfucker, man. I used to think like fucking, I still think that. I don't know. I'm a weird motherfucker, man. Haven't you figured that part out yet? Look at me. I'm about to be fucking, I don't even know. I'm getting close to 40. Still fucking talking about the same shit. So the moral of today's story is hug your loved ones and get ready to hear about memories and shit that I have, just so maybe in the future I don't forget them, or, you know, something like that. I'm trying to think of anything else that happened at the Bay. There was a lot of shit I could. The more I think about it, I probably end up coming up with a bunch of shit. I remember there was one room, and this room was my favorite room because it had this big fucking window that looked out to the water. And I remember I thought that was like it was like the coolest fucking room, because you wake up in the morning and just look out the window out at the water. But in the floor, it was like a yellow linoleum. It was old. I don't know why. There was like 10,000 fucking nails in it. It looked cool as shit. I don't know why. I still don't know why. I might have to ask one day why there was 10,000 fucking nails in this linoleum. But there was so many, it was like, holy fuck, that's a lot of fucking nails in the floor. Very weird. Don't know why. Oh, shit. No. That's all. Eat your fucking apple crisp and be good out in them streets. I gotta try to get this fucking computer in the house without getting fucking rained on. And I think I got Rock Street Photo. You coming out by the end of this month? We doing it by the end of September? Shout out to you. We're gonna do this up. I think that's what we were talking about. And I think me and Chains are October. I don't know. We can fucking do whatever. I don't give a fuck. Let's get it on the calendar, though. Alright. I gotta go mix up some more shit and then get this video up. Word muv. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Dick. Shout out to everybody. Pep, MKA. Shout out to Draco. Shout out to the homie from YouTube. Excuse me. Shout out to Mike Do. Shout out to Emma and Brandon. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everyone listening. Gasp. Shout out to all you motherfuckers, man. Love you guys. Thank you for coming back here every week and listening to me for 102 times. Love you.